Hey,
Hi.
hey.
Hey. Hello everyone. Welcome to the commentary zone. Ay, ay, ay. Today we will be talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 1, episode 14, reunion part 1. We finally made it, Jamal. Oh my God.
It was only 13, 14 episodes, but it just seemed so much longer.
Yeah. So, guys, as you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it, and it pushes the content out into those famous YouTube algorithms. Okay, so this episode, I didn't pay attention too much. It didn't give me much. But okay, it was a bunch of women hollering and screaming. And I was shocked that at the onset of the episode, Andy gave the season a 2 thumbs up.
He has to do that.
Really?
It's in his contract. Um, so how about since there really wasn't too much there, why don't we just break it down lady by lady?
Mm-hmm.
Because I seen for the way
Who do
I
you want to
got.
start with?
Let's start with Heather since she didn't say much.
Other than she likes balls.
Yeah, and she was like real mad with it's like she was really mad with um
Lisa?
Jen, Lisa.
Yeah.
It's just she feels like Jen took advantage of her friendship and didn't give it back, and she
Mm-hmm.
felt like Lisa just really didn't acknowledge her. Like she didn't. She wanted a
Lied
friendship,
about knowing her
right?
and lied on her.
That too, and
Mm-hmm.
felt like Lisa felt like she was above her, and that
Mm-hmm.
she's not. To me, she's not wrong in that sentiment. And
True.
I think this is to the point where she's fed up and she's frustrated. So now she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna say what she has to say and throw her digs.
True. And I think Lisa behaved like that towards her because we saw it all seasons
Yeah,
long. I ain't gonna lie.
you can't fake that. You can't fake that.
Yeah,
You can't lie about that. We all saw
I
it.
I think Lisa thought that she was an easy target because she felt like she wouldn't say anything back, and I think it's just a surprise that Heather is finally speaking up for herself.
I agree with you. Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else with her? They didn't really go too much into her.
No, it's just mostly the Lisa back and forth.
Yeah.
She just frustrated. So it
Mhm.
came across.
And then what about our girl Whitney?
She's
She got her boobies lifted.
lifted. They looked good. I mean, she was
Mhm.
speaking her mind, and she even acknowledged that she's like, people aren't used to me speaking my mind. I hold
Mhm.
things in. She's like, I'm learning to not do that. I'm learning to just say what I have to say and keep it moving, and that's good for her. She needs to do that.
I don't think Lisa was expecting Whitney to speak up either. I think those two cousins shocked Lisa.
Yeah, I agree because she had to look at her for like, what are you guys talking about? How dare you speak back to me? I'm like,
Yes.
okay, they gonna say what they have to say.
Yeah. Um we also hear regarding Heather. Heather and Mary's fathers both recently passed away. So condolences to both families.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Hmm. Anything else with Whitney? Oh, what did you think about the comment? Because I think Andy asked Whitney if there's a big swingers community in Salt Lake City, and they do admit that yes, there is. And I can't remember if it's Heather or Whitney who said it's kind of like Mormon 2.0.
That
And
was
Lisa
Heather.
took offense to that.
That was Heather.
Yes, but I understood what she was saying. You
Right.
know, it's not saying that that's what the religion is promoting.
Exactly. And that's what Whitney
It's
said. Like,
just
no. That's not what she's saying.
yeah, it's just a fad. Oh my God, Lisa is just so particular. I don't know. It's
About
just
everything.
mhm. Let's see, who's next? Do you want to talk about Meredith?
Let's just talk about Meredith.
Yeah, because that'll hit that whole side of the screen. Well, the side of the stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so Meredith. Meredith seemed very calm but removed. Like how we met her at the beginning of the season, because
Hmm.
I think she opened up towards the end. Um, they talk about Brooks's fashion line.
Right. And my thing is I understand it's your child. And I really want these reality TV people to really understand. When your child is of age, when I say of age, we'll see adult 18 plus, and they decide to appear on these shows, they are open for criticism and commentary just like everybody else. You
Mhm.
cannot keep using that, well, that's my child. No, 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 no. They're an adult first. They are a part of the cast second. They are your child third. You cannot be up there fighting their battles. And he's absolutely correct. Jen was correct. But here's the thing: what is the difference between Jen saying something and then a fashion critic saying something? Because, and we all know the fashion industry is very judgmental.
Mhm.
So if you don't want your son judged, maybe fashion is not for him because it is a very
Mhm.
critiquey business. It is because you're putting yourself out, you're putting your work.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't see Louis Vuitton boohooing because people talking about your stuff is ugly. They don't care. We still Louis Vuitton. We still getting the coin. So yeah, I don't understand the point. And Jen was correct. It was one suit.
Mary did
Now
jump in and say, "Well, the stripes were different places."
she tried,
Mary
and
tried.
then like my whole thing is, and the design. What design? It's like you took some of those '80s iron on strips and just put them on the tracksuit with your name on it. No, no.
Here's the thing though. Do you think she's feeling that way because, all right, she would expect it from everybody else, but not her friends? It's just like a deep
Yeah,
hurt. Jen was her good friend, and it was
right.
just one betrayal after another with her
And
this season.
Jen was being mean about it. She was
Mhm.
being honest. She told no lies, but she did out of meanness because she was mad at
Mhm.
Meredith.
Mhm.
That's where I see the problem. If Meredith had just said, you know what, Jen, I understand you were mad at me, and while I can see your perspective, what you said was not out of a critique or helpfulness. It was just you being mad at me. So you took it out on my child.
See, this is the problem I have with it, right? I know he's of age, right? But that was a cowardly act by Jen because she mad at Meredith. But she ain't gonna
Yeah,
come at Meredith. You're gonna
agree.
attack her child. And so that's where that rubs me wrong. But I
It was
do
an
agree with
easy.
you. He's an adult. I get it. But Jen is not a fashion critic. She wasn't, there to critique the show in any way. If you got a problem with Meredith, attack Meredith.
Right. It was an
She's your
easy cop out.
contemporary.
It was an easy
Mhm.
cop out. It
Yeah.
was an easy cop
The
out.
the children are not your contemporary. It was his
But
first show.
but
Just
was
leave
this
it alone.
but was this after the whole legs in the air incident?
Well, that's what we're getting to next because that was the second argument between the two of them. And it seems like something else came into play that we weren't privy to. Okay, so apparently they did see her,
Mhm.
cooch. And they took offense and left and went to Best Buy. Was it Best Buy? Wherever. They left.
I think it was Best Buy.
Yeah, they got scared by the cooch and the two kids left. I don't know how traumatized they were since one of the kids is a girl and she knows what it looks like if she looks down. And two, the other one is a boy. He came out of one. So just revisit where it all started. It is what it is. It is
Right.
what it is. So what, you saw your mom's friends cooch.
I think I'd have laughed personally. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I'd have hollered.
You know, um, as a mother, do I want to know that my kids saw my friend's cooch? No, I would be upset at that as well. But I would have told her, once they left, or no, well, once they told me, I would have said, hey, when you come to my house, put on some underwear and
Right.
keep your
If you
legs together.
please. Some underwear and some Spanx.
Yes.
Double up, please.
Yeah, was it was an accident. Like, I don't think she purposely
She
meant.
wasn't thinking at all. You could tell she wasn't thinking. She was having fun. So
Yeah. And then there was something about smoking a cigarette and somebody taking a video.
yeah. So basically, what sounds like Jen said that Meredith was upstairs smoking, and Brooks was mad at her for smoking, and that's why Brooks was really mad. It had nothing to do with Jen, and the smoking thing was like, I guess, a kind of a deal. And Meredith's like, yeah, I smoke every once in a while, blah 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 blah. But then apparently Jen secretly recorded her smoking, and that's why Meredith was mad.
But I didn't understand why she would do that.
I don't understand what the big in my house. I'm gonna smoke.
But is she gonna blackmail her with it? Like, what is
Right?
the
It made no sense to me.
point? But Jen denies doing the video.
From what I took from it, yes. But I probably have to rewatch it just to.
It's just so confusing.
And dumb.
Yeah, but okay. I'm
I,
sorry.
I I wonder
Okay.
I wonder if Meredith is alluding to Jen maybe possibly secretly recording other people. Because secretly recording someone smoking makes no sense. It's just like it's dumb. Like you can't use that for anything. But if Meredith is trying to set a precedent, saying like, "Hey, Jen has a habit of secretly recording people," I
Oh,
wonder if that's going to come out somewhere down the road.
that would be no bueno. Yeah. Okay. 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 I didn't think about that. I, and I'm sure production won't like that either.
No. Mm-mm.
Ugh. Anything else with Meredith?
Nah.
Okay. So to the other side of the studio, we have Jen at the top. Do you want to start with her?
Yeah, because she really didn't do much for me. So basically she just rehashed everything we already knew, that they were having some issues in their marriage, and it pretty much stems from her emotional triggers, and she still was mad at Sharif for not being there at her father's funeral, which we said this on our channel, like we think this is what it is. This is
Mm-hmm.
because no one can really get over your spouse not being there for you at your most vulnerable time, like especially since her and her dad were so close. So that was for me, that was the biggest thing with her. And also her friendship with Heather has crumbled to dust because Heather feels like she's not a good friend to her. It's not reciprocated, and I can see how she could feel that way. And Heather said, "You know what? You dropped me because you thought you were trading up to Lisa." That's
Oh
how.
my
And Heather said that
God.
during the season too, and she said it
Yep.
again on the reunion. So I'm like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
understand, I get it. That's the way Jen
But
acted.
what did you think about Jen's response to the plastic surgery question, like what she's done with her face? She says she um, had a bump taking off of her nose from when her son broke her nose when he was a baby,
Mhm.
and then she's had fillers and Botox.
I'm gonna let her go with that. I wasn't there. I can't say yes or no, but her cheekbones are way more pronounced than the college photo we saw
Mhm.
in the beginning of the season. So I'm like, are you sure it's just fillers and Botox?
Do you
Because
think she might have
either
an implant in there?
it could be, but just like they're just so pronounced, and you
Could it be
typically
contouring?
that's a hell of a contour.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Because they're just so pronounced.
Mhm.
You generally only see that with typically people who are on the leaner side naturally. So I know a couple people who
Ah,
they're naturally like on the like not as thick as Jen, but they're not skinny, but it's
right,
just their facial features.
right.
has that structure. But when I look at remember Jen's photo from her college days, her cheekbones weren't that pronounced, and
Mm.
she looked good.
She looked like a
She was
completely
pretty.
different person. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
not
Um,
not completely because you can see the essence still there, but
mhm.
yeah, you can definitely tell there's some work done. I mean, if she wants to say it's Botox and fillers, cool. I'm gonna let her have it.
Okay. So after Jen explained what she does for her business, did you understand what it was?
I understood that they have a platform that tells you why you're receiving the ads that you do. That's what
Okay.
I took from it. But
Mhm.
I thought she had more businesses because we
Yeah.
don't on our show. We found her other business, like a beauty line.
Yeah, the eyelash website, then there's like a skincare
Yeah,
something,
and she
and
said she has
then
multiple
something
businesses.
else.
So
Yeah. But Lisa, I thought, seemed to understand exactly what it was and that it makes a lot of money.
she knew exactly. Yeah, she knew exactly what she thought was very lucrative.
Okay, so yeah, and Jen again, I felt made an excuse for why her husband did not show up to her dad's funeral with regards to his actual career and what he does.
Mhm.
Even though he's not the head coach, because he's not the head coach, he has to be there, whereas the head coach would have more leniency to go and come. But every job allows you at least 1 to 3 days to go to a funeral.
True.
Every job does that. Anyway, um, who was next on the couch? Lisa? Yeah, Lisa.
Hmm.
Lisa was the target for everybody in this episode.
Yeah, they would just
I
give her
was
the
not
business.
expecting that.
Me neither, to be completely honest. But they weren't playing with her though.
I was even like so shocked when she got into it with Mary.
Yeah, because Mary kept interjecting. So
I was shocked at that too. Well, not shocked at that, but like the jabs that she was throwing out there for somebody who was excluded from the majority of the season, she has some really good jabs. And I don't know. I was just I was shocked by this. I really was. And Lisa, like people were questioning like her parenting and her kids. Like she got very emotional, which was a surprise. And she said that her kids mean everything to her. Okay.
I mean, I could see it, but I think what it is when people don't say what they have to say, like on camera to you up front, it shocks you when they finally like kind of fight back. So because you weren't
Hmm.
expecting it, it's like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you?
Okay.
Don't
So
you know?
this is. Hmm.
Don't you know who I be? That kind of thing.
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is also where they tell Lisa that she makes people feel less than. And Mary agrees and says that she does. But I think Lisa's like, who are you to say that? Look, have you seen how you talk to the people at your church? And
Right.
Mary wasn't having it. Don't talk about my church, and I won't talk about your liquor.
That was kind of funny actually. I'm sorry. Because
um, Mary had some good snappy comebacks because you told me I missed that one that she that you told me about with Jen.
where she said like when she told Lisa, well, you do make people feel that way. And Lisa's like, well, so do you. She's like, name someone. She said Jen. She's like, well, name someone else. And I was like, oh, okay. How do you really feel?
Oh my god! And at one point, I think Jen says something to Mary, and Mary's like, "I'm not talking to you."
Right. But Mary told
Mary's a
Lee,
spitfire.
but Mary told Jen, like, I don't want to be your friend. So
Oh,
I'm like, well, touche.
can't make it any clearer than that, though.
No, you can't.
Um, but I do want to bring up with regards to Lisa and how she makes people feel. Meredith had a very good point. Meredith said, "Okay, Lisa could say the same thing to me that she says to Whitney, but based on our level of friendship." I can receive that information in one way, and Whitney could receive it in a completely different way. And I
Mhm.
thought that that was a very valid point.
Oh, 100%. Because we all have those friends we're close to, like my best friend. We have an understanding of how we talk, and we know how each other speaks, especially when we're upset
Mhm.
or going through something. We get it, so we're not gonna take it all that personally. If you know
Mhm.
me in any kind of way, you know I speak very direct. So
Mhm.
if you don't know me that well, it can come off as kind of rude. But for the
Yeah.
people who do know me, they're like, no, that's just him on a daily basis. He just kind of says what he has to say. He'll listen to you, but he's pretty much not going to change his mind. And I agreed
Mhm.
with Meredith in that point. That's a
Yeah.
very valid point.
Mhm.
We're all that way. We're
Mhm.
all that way. You know,
Yep.
you can snap on your best friend. They'll be like, you know what, you just going through something fine. But you snap on somebody else wrong, but they gonna take it the wrong way, and then it's gonna be a
Yep.
fight.
Mhm. Now, the last surprise for me of this episode was Lisa blaming Whitney and Heather for Meredith not being friends with her. Like, what? Filming has
Yeah.
been over for a while now, and they're still not
Hmm.
friends?
That was very surprising to me, to be completely honest. It's like, really,
So
y'all
has
still not
she,
talking?
and we were talking about this earlier, you know, Meredith said people have to show their actions to earn their way back to her.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's had a long time to show her actions to get
Correct.
back in with Meredith. What's she been
Mm-hmm.
doing?
Or has she not made the effort?
She probably hasn't had time.
Fair. Very, very fair. You do make a good point on that one.
Yeah, she's busy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look at it in that complete way, to be completely honest, because I'm like, you had all this time, but if you're still doing the same thing that you're doing that your husband mentioned, like keep working, 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 she probably hasn't
Mhm.
even noticed.
Mhm. Well, guys, do you have any other points on this episode, Jamal?
No, because we covered Mary along with Lisa.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, but it was, I will say this. It it
Oh,
didn't
wait.
deliver on go ahead.
No, there's one thing with Mary that I do remember, so that we can give her little corner of this review.
Go ahead.
She still doesn't know how many homes that she has.
True. That is true.
Gross.
Poor thing.
I know. All right. So what else? Let's wrap this up. What are your final thoughts? Ugh.
I think that overall, this reunion, I'm gonna say I'll give it a B. It was a good intro. I'm gonna say that. It didn't give us the bang of Potomac, but hey,
Mhm.
it's not Potomac. But compared to the season, I felt I got more and more truth now because the later have gone through a whole season of filming. They're comfortable and they understand like we guys let it all hang out now at this point. And
Mhm.
you can see the cracks in the friendships, particularly
Mhm.
between Meredith and Lisa.
Mhm. Okay. I give it a C plus because it went by very quickly.
Gotcha. Hey, I understand. I really, really do understand. It went by quickly. They didn't do too much. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that one. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that one. I could roll with you on that.
But quite honestly, this could have been the reunion and done. Like, what else do we have to see two more episodes?
That's my thing. I mean, the season wasn't that great, so what more could there really be?
Yeah. But we shall see. Again, this was the the recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 1, Episode 14, Reunion Part 1. Let us know what you think about the reunion. Was it good for you? Was it just so-so? Leave it in the comments below. Let us know what your thoughts are on our review of the reunion. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll get an alert every time we release new content. And most importantly, tell a friend. We want more people in the conversation. Let us know what you think about this slagtastic reunion part 1 for the Salt Lake City gals. Until next time, bye.
Bye.